Sometimes asking for help can be intimidating or even embarrassing for students. So how can you encourage your child to take the extra step when needed? In today's Back to School series, WSAZ's Marley Pinchak talked with school officials about breaking down barriers and how it can benefit your child on their academic journey.
The truth is, no matter how old you are, you never stop learning. But for a number of different reasons, there can be a stigma that comes with asking for help.
As kids get older, there is a tendency to feel like if you ask for help that you're, showing vulnerability or weakness, or that you shouldn't do it, or you can handle it on your own. And nothing could be further from the truth.
Dr. Ashley Stevens with Cabell County Schools is a former middle school and high school teacher. She says when a student shows interest in a topic and asks for help when they are struggling, it is actually a sign of strength, not weakness. But how can you as a parent get your child to see it that way?
If we can talk to our kids as parents about, if you're having a hard time, have you talked to your teacher about this? I'm sure they would have resources, or they would love to help, or they could tell you about, some tutoring opportunities. Parents can kind of lead and guide and help their kids advocate for themselves and advocate for their own learning. And one of the ways I explain that to my kids at home is that these teachers chose to study that thing. So if we think about middle school and high school, they are hyper specialized in history or art or music or whatever they've chosen, and they love it.
Stevens says that gentle push from a parent could help that student significantly in the long run.
Helps build that relationship. It kind of becomes a, struggling student plus teacher team. Like, we are working together to make sure that you can be successful. And that has implications down the road. If I have a student who has, advocated for themselves and said, that didn't make any sense. Can you explain it a different way? Or can I, pop in before class? Or is there a chance we can go over this? When I know that something tricky is coming up, I might go ahead and put together some resources so that when we do it, they have what they need. I may even adjust the way that I'm going to approach it, knowing they're going to want to hear this. Maybe somebody else in the class is struggling with it, so I'll make sure that I introduce it a couple of different ways. Or if they come after, after a struggle, if we have a grade that's not great, I'm more apt to think like, this is us. Like, we are working, this is my problem to help fix, because I know that they're having a hard time, and we have partnered in being successful at this point.
The best advice: encourage your student to show an interest in understanding the material and completing assignments early on in the school year, rather than later when they are down to the wire.
I would be careful, and I would caution kids. It's easy to say, I need extra credit. If you don't do your regular credit well, the extra credit's not really that's not the ticket. I need you to master the content. So instead of saying like, oh, our students have bombed that test, I need some extra credit, ask me, can we go through that test, and can you help me figure out what I didn't do well? Because that is definitely going to be more positively received than, grades matter to kids, and they matter for us. But I want to know that you have the skills and you have learned the content that you need to be successful.
And for parents, Stevens says that success starts by having these conversations with your child now, and if possible, attending an open house so you and your child can meet their teachers and find pathways to success in the classroom before the year even begins. Marley Pinchak, WSAZ.
And Ashley Stevens says if attending an open house isn't an option, another way to set your child up for success is reading a syllabus together. These are designed to help students understand the expectations and detail any resources available for that particular class. She also says check the school district's social media or give the school a call to find out additional options for extra help, for example, after-school tutoring sessions. If you would like to check out today's Back to School story again or watch our previous stories from this week, just scan that QR code right there and it takes you back to the Back to School page on WSAZ.com.